Welcome to Adobe Live. I'm here with Ayana Campbell
Hey,
Smith. And we're going to be live here today and then again tomorrow at the same time.
Yep.
And of course, we take a quick look at the schedule. We actually have Jermaine coming up after us. And it'll be a repeat tomorrow with the same schedule. So that'll be a great time. And we'll be wrapping up tomorrow.
Yeah,
but
looking forward to it.
we got a lot of work to do today, right?
Yes, we do.
Can you give a quick little intro of what we're going to do today?
Yeah, I can. So I'm going to hop over to my screen maybe. I just want to run through my intro again. I know you guys might have seen it yesterday if you're joining us again, but I am Ayana Campbell Smith, product designer and illustrator from Orlando. Just wanted to say again, always thank you to Adobe for having me out. I'm really happy to be here and having a ton of fun, so good to see you guys again in the chat. From Orlando, graduate of University of Central Florida, go Knights. One thing I forgot to mention yesterday about Orlando is that a couple of my friends from Orlando were actually on the stream the past 2
really?
weeks.
Awesome.
So Shauna Panchesin, who's in the chat right now,
Cool.
she was actually on last week demonstrating Photoshop. And then my friend Hiba, who actually went to college with me at UCF, she was on 2 weeks ago doing UI UX on the Fortnite app.
Florida in the house.
Yeah, so Orlando represent. Senior designer at NV Labs. We do a lot of really amazing work there. You guys should definitely check out our site if you are interested in seeing more of what we do in Orlando. And again, I'm a lover of clean interfaces, illustration, animation, and cute stuff. So
Best folder ever.
yep. So here's just some of my work that I've done over the past couple of years at NV. Couple things here, fun characters, illustration. So what we're doing today is we're continuing the dog adoption app that I started yesterday. So this is an app for helping users find dog adoptions in their local area based on either searching or a personality quiz.
Awesome.
So yesterday I went over the app planning. I showed some of my user needs that I defined, a couple of planning exercises like writing out journeys, sketches, simple wireframes, and then today we're going to be jumping into the mood board and design phase. So
my favorite part.
Yeah, the really exciting part. Going to start getting some color and some typography laid down. So as far as the mood board and research, before I dive into XD and start designing, I just wanted to kind of show you guys sort of what I have in mind when I'm creating a mood board and kind of what that process looks like for me. So as I was specifically designing this app, I went to some apps that I use a lot that sort of solve some of the common patterns that I was using in the app that I'm designing. So you'll notice a couple of these. You might be familiar with them. We have HQ Trivia on there. I really liked how they had that progress bar sort of indicator up top. Some fun icon styles from the Airbnb app, the second one. A fun search page from, I believe that's Pinterest, and then also some more search features from cars.com, their app, and then a couple more. Another one, I believe this first one is from HomeAway. The second one is another little look at the cars.com app, Airbnb again, and then the last one is from Marvel. I really like how they had that sort of modal overlay.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I was thinking moving into mood boarding, just kind of seeing how different apps out there in the market handle these common patterns.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and so that's kind of the inspiration that I drew from that. I think one tip that I would give to maybe beginning designers is that I think it's really important to kind of study the apps that are currently out in the marketplace, just because you can kind of see how they solve really common problems and sort of use that to mimic and learn as you're designing. So.
And you can also see like what they're doing right and what they're doing wrong, and learn from their mistakes and their success.
Yep.
So yeah, absolutely agree. Good idea.
So that's all I have as far as the mood board goes. So if we're ready to design,
Yeah, let's jump
go
right
ahead
into
and
it.
hop
Why
in.
not?
Okay, cool. Let me close out this keynote, bring up my XD.
Ooh, we got icons and
And
everything.
we got icons. So I did a little bit of work last night because I wanted to be able to spend as much time as possible actually designing.
Yeah.
So I'm starting with sort of this kind of style tile, I like to call it. So we have some colors already picked out, some container styles as far as like shadows and stuff goes. Excuse me. I've picked some typography already. So I mentioned yesterday I'll be using sort of like a fun sans serif font. So this is Museo Sans Rounded. I believe this is available on Typekit too. So if you guys like this typeface, you can go ahead and download it. Some custom icons. So some of them I grabbed from an icon set that I found for free, and then I also filled in the blanks with some other ones that I needed. These are some icons that we'll be using in the design. And then I also went ahead and made a logo for the app. I'm calling it Pup Finder.
That's perfect. Logo's really good too.
Thank you.
Awesome.
And then I'll also have this sort of background pattern that I'll be using just to add some more fun and depth to the app. So
Very nice.
that's what I have. And I guess with that, I can just go ahead and dive in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'll do that. And
So
hi to
where-
my friends in the chat. Sorry,
Oh, yeah,
I'm seeing
go
some
ahead.
names I recognize. Hi, guys.
Oh yeah, they're taking over the chat, huh? So where did you make the logo in? Illustrator, Photoshop?
Yeah, I made it in Illustrator. And one
Nice.
thing that I did want to point out is that you actually can open Illustrator files in XD.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So I can actually demonstrate that
please
really
do.
quick. So for my computer, we have our assets. So you guys can see I have
It's an AI file.
an AI file. And yep,
Opens right up.
opens right up. So these are actually
good.
like the artboards that I created in Illustrator. It's exactly
Right,
how it's
right.
set up. Everything comes in super easy, and you can just click, copy, and paste into the app that you, or the current design that you're working on. So that's what I did before the stream, but yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, Tim pointed out you can also do PSD files. So
PSD file, oh,
wherever you're making your logo in or any
Yeah.
graphics, you can just drop it right in.
even better. So I guess we'll just go ahead and get started. So as a reminder, I do have these wireframes up here. There's about 12 screens that I designed yesterday in wires. I'm assuming that we probably won't get through everything today.
We'll try.
But
We'll
we'll
see.
try, of course. Design takes a little bit longer, so
Yeah, that's
might be
true.
a little slower than I was yesterday. But as I'm doing design, I generally like to have my wireframes on the same sort of like workspace. And then I will typically just copy and paste the actual wire just so I have the content that I need.
Do you want to just run us through the page just really quick
Oh, yeah,
of
no,
what
I can
each
totally
page
do
is,
that.
just in case people were watching?
For sure, yeah. So we have our app start screen. So this is where the logo will go. When the app launches, you'll be given this opportunity to either decide if you want to take the personality quiz and be matched with some dog breeds that fit you, or you can just dive in and search right away your local area. After that, we'll have sort of like what the quiz question actually looks like. So this is an example of that there. We have some options, nice little progress bar to give users a sense of how far along they are in the quiz. After the quiz, they would be presented with their matches, so some breeds that sort of fit their lifestyle. And they can either click Learn More to be taken to the breed guide and read more about the breed, or they can simply exit out of this and be taken to their homepage where they would be presented with a search bar, some recent searches, recently viewed dogs, and then some other recommendations for dogs in their area. Let's see, we also have just kind of what the search will look like, the different criteria that you can search with, search results, so it's just a listing of dogs. And then if you were to click one of these, or tap one of these, I should say, you would be seeing the dog detail page. So we have Bark Ruffalo here, Bichon Frise Schnauzer mix, which sounds really cute. Just some information about Bark, where he's located, some other suggestions for dogs you might like that are kind of similar to Bark. Sherry says this is all new to her. Yes, we're learning a
Oh,
lot
love
today.
that. Yeah.
Awesome.
Perfect stream for you.
Thanks for joining us. So the breed guide offers a breed of the day, so users can learn every day about a new dog. They can be presented with their recommended breeds based on that quiz that they took in the very beginning. And then also a section for trending breeds. So these are breeds that are just popular in the area. I see Shauna likes my Bark Ruffalo reference. Yeah, we enjoyed that a lot yesterday on the stream. And then the breed detail we have, it's kind of similar to the dog detail page, just giving some more information about the breeds. We have some space for a fun video maybe, some related breeds down there. And then the last couple of pages that I have are actually where you could actually save either breeds or dogs that you had looked at and found that you liked. So
Awesome.
that's what these are represented here.
Awesome.
Yep.
So where are you starting with the design then?
I'm just gonna kind of take the same path that I took yesterday and just start from the very
finish, yeah,
beginning and
perfect.
go all the way through. So let's start with the app launch screen. Could drag this down here.
Oh, okay, yeah. I like that.
Yep. So I generally, whenever I'm doing this, a lot of times I'll work in the same file with
Right.
wires and design. So whenever I'm doing design, just to keep the layers and the stuff organized, I'll put a D and a hyphen before. That's like D for
makes
design.
sense.
And then I'll just use the same.
Yeah, and the great
Same.
thing with XD is you can have so many artboards and it's not going to slow it down whatsoever.
It's all vector based, right?
Yep.
So really
That's
super
awesome.
fast. Actually, I've actually already added some of these
Oh, cool.
colors to my color assets over here, so make sure you guys take advantage of that because you don't have to worry about going back and,
Right.
figuring out what color, what blue we use. Like, you can just hop in really quick and get started. So I'm gonna make this background, why is it not showing? Okay, scratch that. I didn't add them, I thought I did. So let's add them really quick. We have our teal,
Yeah, it's super easy to add them anyway.
orange, yep. I think you can even select multiple and add maybe, let's try. Yep.
Perfect.
So let's move this up here. We're gonna make this background color that teal color, and then I'm actually going to delete this and just drag over my logo that I created. And then I'm going to make that white.
To answer your question, Dagny, the file she's working on, she completely made it, so it's not available to download yet anyways. She might want to post it up on Behance when she's done. But the one in the challenge tab is for the XD Daily Challenge Day 7, which I actually have open up on my screen, and I can show it to you really quick. So basically all this is some little design challenges for you to do and get your skills better, as you can see here. So if you actually want to try this, we will put it on stream at the end to review it for you. So I would definitely download and work on that. So we can jump back over to you, see what you're doing.
So right now I'm
see
just updating the
icons looking
status bar.
good.
So yeah, I dragged over that background pattern that I made. I'm just gonna drop the opacity down to maybe like 10. So I'm pressing 1 on my keyboard to
Okay.
drop it down to 10.
Oh, that looks good.
Yeah, just have a little bit of texture, and then I noticed this little status bar up here is kind of doing something
yeah.
weird, so let me fix that really quick. Just take the border and make that white. Okay, so we have our first launch screen,
Looking fresh already.
and then let me just drag down a couple of these in the first part of this flow so I can work a little quicker here.
Yeah.
Okay, so first screen. Next, we're gonna work on that kind of first launch screen, so you can choose which path you want to take as far as either taking the quiz or just hopping in and searching really quick. So I'm going to remove this status bar and copy the white one. Rename this artboard first launch.
Eric, yeah, I'm not sure what you're talking about. I don't see much orange going on.
What was the question?
Oh, maybe on my screen he meant. No, I didn't have night shift on. Should have been normal.
Oh. Another tip for you guys, instead of having to actually draw a background color rectangle, you can go, if you click on the artboard in your layers panel and go over here on the side to appearance, you can actually change the fill of the artboard to be a color. And that way you don't have to worry about managing another layer there. Finder. Another thing I forgot to point out is I mentioned yesterday in the stream that I am using an 8-pixel grid to keep my layers
Keep everything nice and clean.
and organized and balanced. So definitely recommend using one of those if you haven't before. It's my first time using one, and it's definitely been really nice to use. So I'm gonna copy this little like white square container that I have, and I'm gonna use it here as like a background for this card.
Okay. Cool.
I've already added the shadow and the rounded corners, and
Right.
I know it's gonna work for me, so.
And it looks like we got our countdown for chat and win. So in about 15 minutes, we're going to do chat and win, where you can win this awesome notebook made by Moo. It's hardcover and everything.
Yeah.
So stick around for that.
I'm gonna duplicate this rectangle using Command D on my keyboard. Just drag it up, remove the shadow, and this is gonna end up being like the placeholder for,
Oh, what's up, Paul in the chat? What's up, man?
hi.
He's one of the hosts for Adobe Live.
Yeah, I met him
all the
yesterday
time.
after
Oh,
I
awesome.
was done. I caught him before he got into the elevator. So
Nice.
nice to see you, Paul. Take the rounded corners off the bottom here. So I'll end up putting an image there once I get to that.
Right.
And then also, I have these text styles that I'm going to be using, or character styles, I should say. So I'm going to go ahead and add some of those over here, just so I have them easily accessible. And then it's super easy. You just click, drag it over, right? Isn't that how you do it? Well, maybe not.
Maybe you have to drag it onto some text or something.
Okay, let me try that. Let's make this a color so we can actually see it would be helpful.
That'd be a cool feature to have in the future. If it just automatically changed the color when you type on it.
Yeah, that would be super
Same
helpful.
color background.
Mm-hmm. Let's see, maybe you have to type and then just click. Is that how it goes? Oh, yeah. You
That's
have
what I was thinking.
to type and click. Okay,
Perfect.
so yeah, that works. Okay, so take our quiz, and I actually have some copy written too, so I'm going to be going back and forth
awesome.
between this. So take the pup match quiz. I really branded everything in this app, so pup match.
Yeah.
Thought that was kind of cute. So.
Yeah, perfect.
Then make another text box here. Just copy in that text that I just copied. And I'm gonna make this the, let's see, Museo Sands regular, 500 weight, and it kind of has like a grayish green color that I thought would complement the app really well. So that's what I'm using there. And then I'm going to need a button. So I'm gonna just draw one and then I'll add it to my symbols afterwards. Make that orange. So like I mentioned yesterday in the stream, I wanted to have sort of like a brighter color for my actions. So that's what this orange is being used for. And then some more text.
Sherry is excited about the notebook because she uses a bunch of cheap ones for school.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, this would definitely be a nice upgrade for you.
Mm-hmm. Love a good notebook. Drag that up here.
Judd asked how long you've been using XD.
For about 3 weeks now.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's how
Brand
awesome
new,
XD
but I mean,
is.
it's really easy to learn. I think we touched on that yesterday too.
Yeah.
Like,
He even said, like how fast you are able to work. That's just how XD
yeah,
is, you know?
you can really hop in super quick, especially if you actually take the time to, use the resources on YouTube that Adobe has provided as far as
Oh,
like
yeah,
the live
absolutely.
streams and the videos. They really help you get started. Don't be like the people that, go to IKEA and buy furniture and never look at the instructions.
And they've never built any
yeah,
type of furniture in their lives.
Exactly. It's really helpful to make use of those resources that they have available.
Everyone's surprised that it's only 3 weeks. Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, I think we said yesterday too, when you come from using other design tools, like a lot of it ends
It's a
up
lot
being
easier to take
really
over,
intuitive.
right?
Yeah. Okay, so I'll put an image there. Let's just dive in and look at some cute dog photos because I've already downloaded some samples from Adobe stock, so I think this is what we're going to use. So I think one cool thing that you can do is if you have this box selected, this rectangle, you can just click and drag an image into it, and it sort of fits it in there. There's no need to do extra steps of making image masks like that. So
Right.
that's
Nice.
another feature that I really like. I'm going to move it down a little bit. Look at that cute little guy, guys. Look at him. Oh my god.
That is a very cute dog.
He's adorable. So this button I created, I'm going to group the text in the background, and then I'm going to add that to my symbols also.
Can you add animation in XD? Yes, there is auto animation in XD, which we will touch on tomorrow. So definitely stick around tomorrow for our
Yeah,
stream.
it's going to be fun.
Nick asks, what are your thoughts on XD prototyping? I'm not sure if you've gone to really do that yet.
No, I've practiced some with it
Okay.
when I was learning. I think it's really great. I love how it's built in, and I think one thing that really sets XD apart is the fact that it has the auto animate feature, which if you guys aren't familiar with what I'm talking about, maybe take a look at that after my stream. There's a ton of videos on YouTube about it. It's definitely something that's really awesome.
Someone asked if you'll publish this document when you're done.
I'm not sure. I kind of want to make this a real app, so I don't know if I should give away the design.
Comes out in the apps right before you're done.
I might think about it, though, maybe.
Hold on that.
Okay, so we have the quiz card here, and then down below I mentioned that there's going to be this second option to search. So I'm just going to repurpose this, this box that I made already. And have this text be the same. Find your new best friend.
Nick pointed out that there's an auto animate UI kit. So yeah, if you're in XD, you can actually go up to the menu and go to download some UI kits straight from Adobe. So
sounds awesome.
It's a great way to get to learn it as well.
Sometimes getting that hands-on feel is better than starting from scratch. If it can be a little daunting just to start from your own.
Yeah, and like if you're just trying to learn a program, you kind of just want to learn the features first before you have to make something perfect.
So I just grabbed a little icon that I drew that I showed you guys earlier.
Nice.
Change the color over here. Oops.
Always a plus when you can use your own icons.
Yeah, I mean, I like having a break from UI sometimes. So if I'm ever getting bogged down with too much wireframing or design, I will take a break and do some sort of illustration if I can.
That's awesome.
Yep, it's fun.
It's a great extra skill to have in this profession as well.
Yeah, it's really fun. I'm also going to add these white versions of this character styles over here. So it's all the same sizes and fonts. It's just different colors.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
Some different uses.
I've got a question about what are your favorite icon sources if you're not making your own?
Icon sources? I typically don't really download icons. I like to draw all of my own, but if I'm looking for inspiration as far as like how to draw them, I like using the Noun project a lot.
Oh, nice.
They have some good ones on there. It's good to see how other people kind of approach different icon types.
Yeah, for sure. I a lot of the time use an app actually called Icons 8.
Okay.
It has tons of packs in there, like from iOS to Google to just ones that other artists have made. There's thousands of them. It's great if you just need some quick icons for a mock-up or whatever.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And they have a website where you can access them and an app, so don't have to download it if you don't want to.
Yeah.
Just go on the web.
One thing I can mention is, I can open it real quick. There's an app that one of my former coworkers, Drew Powers, told me about this app. It's called SV Jesus, and it comes loaded with the Google material icons in it already.
Yeah.
So, but it's really cool because you can actually just click and it copies it, and then.
Yeah, that's pretty similar to how Icons 8 works,
really?
actually.
Yeah, that's really fun. So if I ever need something just quick as a placeholder, then I like to use that. Oh, looks like I might have. I accidentally dragged this out of there, so I need to put this back. Take our match. Okay, so we have that going. Book match quiz, start your search, and then one other thing I mentioned is that I also had this idea that it would be cool if, you can't see it here, but if you could search like by photo. So if you saw a dog out in the wild and you wanted to find out what the breed was or search by that, then you could just take a snap a photo and and get some information. I don't know how feasible that actually is for a real app, but you know, hey,
I would use it.
This is my app, so that's what we're gonna do.
What the heck dog is this? I have no idea.
Exactly.
But I want one. Are there any extra plugins to use on XD? Absolutely. There's a whole plugin store on XD. So all you have to do is jump into XD, and then there's just a plugins menu with tons of different plugins. That's fairly new, actually. So definitely something to check out.
Yeah, I'll have to check out some of the plugins. I know you mentioned yesterday on the stream that there were some good ones in there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I'll have to give that a look.
And Judd said there are more plugins every day, which is absolutely true.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so one more thing I want to add up here is just some more fun text. So find your perfect match. I'm going to make this slightly larger, maybe 28. Yep, that looks good. Okay, so I'm gonna group this search bar down here together and also add that to my symbols because I know I'm probably gonna use it again. So there we have our first page right after I put the background pattern. So let's move that to the back.
It's coming together super well already.
Yeah, so like you guys saw, I used some of the features of XD as far as like the color styles. What is it called? Is it called color styles? Colors, character styles, and the symbols. And making use of those features really brings designs together pretty fast. So
Yeah, absolutely. Especially once you get the first page done, because then you have most of them ready.
yeah, exactly. So let me pull this down to the bottom and this one. Do you think maybe I should demonstrate how I organize my layers? I know people were asking about that yesterday.
I think a lot of people are interested in that.
Yeah, so let's do that. So for those of you who are interested, as far as organizing my layers over here on the side, I like to, generally after I'm done with a page, I will go back and rename my layers.
Okay.
Someone asked if XD is a competitor for Sketch. I think they're pretty similar, but XD definitely does have some advantages over Sketch as far as like the prototyping and auto animate and stuff like that. So,
and I would also say just the simplicity and the ease of use is a huge advantage for sure.
Yeah, but as far as making the transition, like if you're familiar with any program that's similar to Sketch or
it'll be so easy.
Yeah, it'll be super easy to make the transition. So as far as organizing my layers, I like to basically think of it as going top to bottom. So I will reorganize it in that way, and so that way you know kind of where they fall. Oh, John Peters, hi, nice to see you. John and I met each other at Epicurrence in
cool.
Yosemite last year, so
Awesome.
Thanks for watching, John. So I have the status bar, and then I'll grab the logo, move that up to the second spot. Find your perfect match goes after that. Then for elements like this that are multiple parts, I like to grab all the elements and group them. Just call this a card.
And Tim pointed out you can't even open up sketch files in XD.
Oh, you can? That's cool. I didn't know that. Learn something new every day.
Oh, someone said something about my Adams Polishes sticker. I was hoping somebody would say that. It's awesome that somebody knows what that is.
Is that?
It's for car detailing
Oh, really?
products.
Cool. Is that Robzilla in the chat? I think I recognize that name. So let's see, line. And then
We have just 48 seconds until the chat and win countdown ends. So get your chatting fingers ready. Make sure you're logged in on behance.net/live so you can enter that giveaway in just about 30 seconds.
get in there, guys.
And Tim pointed out the Adobe Live sticker. Yes. Perfect sticker combination for me.
Okay, yeah, so I don't know if you guys caught what I was just doing, but basically if you look now, you can see all my layers are kind of organized in order from top to bottom where they lie
Nice.
in the application. And then if you want to get super detailed, you could actually go in and like in the groups like I mentioned, and you can rename these. So I'll just call this image, the button's at the bottom. Oh, button should be down here.
And that's the countdown for chat and win. So if you want to enter, all you have to do is jump in the chat, but we'll be right back. All right, chat and win. Jump in the chat and you can win a beautiful hardcover notebook from Moo. Very nice, very high quality.
Go, go, go. Who wants it?
You better hurry before I decide to keep it.
Exactly.
Chat exploding.
Oh, yeah. Guys really want this notebook.
You guys should drop your favorite emoji.
It's going and going and going.
Is it a notebook? Yes, it's a hardcover notebook from Moo.
Online,
And it looks
right?
like we have our winner. Judd Parker, you win. You've been super
Yay.
active in chat, so that's awesome.
Congratulations, Judd.
We'll reach out to you via DM on Behance.
Fun. Okay, back. I saw one of my friends in there. Hi, Cher. I saw your comment.
That's awesome. We all want a notebook, I know, right? Well, you better stick around for the next stream where you can win one again, and tomorrow.
Okay, so this screen is done. I'm going to hop into this kind of app question or quiz question screen. So let's just drag over this one. I'm going to rename this artboard quiz question. And then, like I mentioned, like sometimes I will reuse elements from previous artboards, so that's why I always like to click and drag over a new a previously used artboard, so I don't have to start from scratch. So we can delete that, delete this line, move that image. Okay, so we're gonna start with the question. So
And so now we have our countdown for the XD Daily Challenge designs. All you have to do is hit the challenge tab above chat to check out what we're doing there. And if you submit, we will be reviewing them on stream today. And again, the timer is about 56 minutes from now, so definitely check it out. You start with a template, so you definitely have time to get it done if you check it out right now.
definitely do that, guys. I just saw my coworker and friend Olivia in the chat asking where King Stewart is. He's coming. King Stewart is her dog. And so I'm going to be using his picture in,
Oh, awesome.
in my designs. Okay,
Someone asked if you drew your avatar on Behance.
I did. I made it in Adobe Illustrator, and then I'm assuming you're talking about the little illustrated
Yeah,
one
she
with
said
pink
it's
background.
floating.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
Illustrator. I did that in Illustrator.
nice.
If you look on, I believe in the animation project I have on there, there's an animated version of that little character. She winks at you, so really proud of that one.
That's awesome.
And I actually also have a YouTube tutorial. Well, it's not a tutorial, it's more of a time lapse of me animating that one on my YouTube channel if you
nice.
guys search for that.
Perfect.
Okay,
It disappeared from the chat, but somebody was asking how you copied an artboard or something. Something you copied. They were asking how you did that.
You just click up here on the title and you hold Alt and drag.
Perfect.
Yep, and I'll copy
Super
it.
easy.
Generally, I think in most Adobe programs, if you hold Alt and click and drag something, it will duplicate it.
Yeah.
So it's a good way. And I like to hold Shift down when I'm doing it because it keeps it aligned to where it is. It doesn't
Oh, yeah,
shift
right,
up or down.
right. Sweet.
Yep. Okay, so we have the question. Up here, I don't know if you guys remember when I showed what I showed on the mood board, but there was like that little circle progress icon situation that was up at the top. So I'm gonna kind of borrow that idea for what I'm gonna do here. Pressing E on my keyboard for the ellipse tool, I'm gonna draw a little circle here.
Someone asked if there will be a portfolio review in the near future. We'll actually be doing those tomorrow at the end of the stream instead of the daily challenge submissions. So definitely tune in for that as well.
Mm-hmm. So there is a way, I always have to figure out how to do it, but I think there's a way to delete anchor
Right.
points. Do you remember how to do, like,
I
how to separate
haven't
it?
messed with that much.
I should have practiced this before I came. Let's see if I can figure it out really quick. No, maybe not. Okay, well, for the time being, let's just pretend that this person is on like the last question and that
Right,
this
right.
ring is completely filled in. But generally, or what I was trying to do was to show sort of like an overlay of the gray and the green, where the green was kind of half filled, like it was in like a progress bar around the circle.
You could probably do that by copying one and then like messing with the transparency of it.
Yeah,
maybe?
but I was trying to take out like a portion
I see
of
what you
this,
mean.
and
Yeah.
I did it before. I just can't remember exactly how I did it,
Okay.
so I'll have to
Figure it
revisit
out.
that at some point. I don't want to spend too much time trying to figure it out here live, so
And we can always add it in tomorrow as well.
yeah, definitely. So I'm gonna add an icon that's kind of related to this. This is about your current home living situation, so I'm gonna grab this one that I got. This icon is actually from the Streamline icon pack. I don't know if you guys have seen that on Twitter or online, but I believe Matt D. Smith was involved in creating that icon set.
Oh, yeah.
And I believe the icon set has like 30,000 icons in it or something
Yeah,
like that,
yeah.
but they gave away 300 for free, so I grabbed that when I saw it because you can never
Yeah,
have
that's a
too
great
many.
deal.
Yep. So let's make that a little bit bigger. Okay. Move it up a little bit. So we have our question, our icon, and then we need some more options. So I'm going to do, this one will be like the one that's been selected. So we're going to say big house with a yard here. And when you're working with these symbols, guys, make sure that you're being conscious of the changes that you're making, because when you change it in one spot, it will change across
right.
the entire.
So with buttons, you got to be really
Yeah,
careful
be
with that.
really careful. And then I'm gonna make one that's more of like an inactive state. So I'm gonna temporarily ungroup this symbol, use the same shape, but just change the styles up a little bit. So we're gonna give this that gray-green color, white fill, and then change the border to be something a little lighter like that. What did I say? I said small.
Tim made a great point that you can add global colors so that if a client says they want to do a different color, you don't have to go through every artboard and change it. You can change them all at once.
Yep, it's definitely a good feature too. Okay, so now this is like an inactive button style. I grouped it, and now I'm gonna add it to my other symbols.
You already said good colors. I totally agree. It's looking really good together.
Thank you. Rename this one to, let's see, active. Another point that I should make is you guys might have noticed that down here previously I had it named orange button, and going off of Tim's comment, sometimes you will end up changing colors at the last minute, so it's good to be more general when you're naming your symbols. So instead of naming it based on a color, name it based on an action or a state.
That's a great point.
Yeah, so this more white button is going to be my inactive button state, and then I'm going to actually rename this one to be my active button state.
That's a great tip.
Yep. So that way you're not having to, like, if you like your stuff organized, you don't have to go back through and rename
Yeah.
700,000
another
layers,
step.
you know? And I'm going to use the repeat grid feature here to repeat this. Just like that, we have all of our buttons. I think I might have duplicated that accidentally. So small apartment, big apartment, why not? And then small house.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay, so we have that. Let me condense this up a little bit. And then I mentioned yesterday that I wanted to have this illusion or this idea of like a stack of cards. So I'm just going to duplicate this background container here, drop it down some, and bring in, oops, did I not duplicate it? Command D to duplicate. Okay, that worked. And then I'm going to drop it down some, decrease the width, and then send it backwards.
Nice.
So we have that sort of like stacked card
Yeah,
look.
yeah.
And
Looks
then,
good.
thank you. When we play with auto animate and some prototyping stuff tomorrow, I'm hoping that I can do an animation where it
Have
looks
the
like it's
cards
swiping.
Yeah, that'll be
to
cool.
the side. That'll be fun. And then change this title up here to just say like pup match quiz. Center that. Okay. And that page is done too. So then after that, we can move on to, let's see, this is showing like your matches for that. So I'm actually going to, let's see how I want to do it. I'm going to copy this one over because it has that card style that I'm going to kind of reuse. Delete this. Don't need these ones. Don't need this line. Oops. Ungroup that for now. Drag this down and then also kind of mimic that same idea of a stack of cards here too, because you're going to get multiple suggestions for your breeds when you do this quiz.
Someone was trying to give some advice for that anchor problem you were having. John, right there.
See, for the circle, if you open it up by deleting an anchor point, try selecting the anchor point, pen tool, and then click on the anchor point. Let's see. I do want to demonstrate that, so let me try it.
And then press delete, he said.
That's what I did, but it didn't seem like it worked for me. The pen tool?
Mm-hmm.
Click this one. No. Nah, I don't think that's working, John. I know it's possible though, because I've done it before, so I'll just have to
figure out what the problem is.
figure out what that issue is. Oops. Let's bring this down some.
And then he said double click into the shape. I don't know. We probably don't want to try that for too long.
We'll come back to it if we have time. So I'm going to make this breed match be a Labrador Retriever.
Sweet.
Labrador Retriever. Words are hard sometimes. Hope I spelled that right. Did I? And then I'm going to copy, again, this text that I have over to the side. Just a little fun description about the dog.
Love it.
Affectionate and loyal, aren't we all?
Plum tail, that's a perfect description.
And then I'm also going to replace this image here with some that I found from Adobe stock. I think
That was like a perfect classic dog picture of
Yeah,
that golden
right?
retriever.
I have a lot of dogs here.
Oh, the leaves.
We have this fun little lab. Awesome. Okay, so Labrador Retriever. And then I also have this idea that I mentioned yesterday about the fun tags
the
at the
tags.
bottom. I'm just going to copy one of these and bring that up here. Let's see, what type of style? Make this that. Background. Using a shade of that teal that I already established here, so just drop the opacity down a little bit. And I thought for this one it would be fun to have a fun little icon too, so I'm gonna grab this little happy face because it's kind of describing personality. I thought that would sort of fit that tag feature. Paste it here. And I'm gonna give it that same color. I don't know if you guys know, but if you have an element selected and you want to see its distance away from like the edges of other things, you can hold down Alt on your keyboard and it'll bring up these little fun guidelines that'll tell you the exact distance. So it's another good way to keep your designs really clean and organized.
It's a great point that Shauna said that the tags were a great idea because when she was adopting, she had to fill in an extensive form for them to find the right dog. So
Yep.
perfect solution right here.
Yeah, I actually have a picture of Shauna's dog too that I'm going to be using, Mr.
Oh,
Teddy.
perfect.
He's absolutely adorable, so you guys will be seeing him soon. Okay, so we have family friendly. Let's see what else we have. Let's say energetic.
Someone asked, how can I learn XD advanced features? Really, it would be just start using it as much as you can, first of
Yeah.
all, to get familiar with everything, get the basics down first. And then I would say the best way is from Adobe's blog. They have a ton of videos and articles about it. Pretty much if you go search that on YouTube even, you'll find a ton of videos on every feature you can think of, really. So it should be pretty easy for you to figure those out.
Yep. Just gonna add another one here. It's like, let's see. Energetic, let's say easy to train. Easy to train. Okay, and then one more just to fill in this space, we'll say intelligent. And then I'm going to update this button to say learn more. So this tapping this button would lead you to the breed guide where you could learn more about this particular breed.
Clean design rocks. Yeah, she's super organized and doing really well with that. Totally.
Thank you guys. Yeah, you have to stay, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I have to stay organized because if not, I will cry. Probably. So let's move this up. I want this to be like an overlay kind of over that background. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna add like a dark rectangle here. Drop the opacity down to maybe, let's say 25. And then bring that behind this card that I just created.
Someone asked if you could bring in Photoshop .tiff files into XD. I just did some research, and you actually can. So you could bring those. You could bring SVGs or anything really. I guess the best way to test it would just to be try bringing your file into it.
Let's
But
do our second
according
helper,
to
right?
this article, it does support it.
And then I also want to add some like small helper text kind of, so just something that lets the user know that they can swipe to, what did I write? Swipe to explore breeds. Make this,
I think it's really good that you're getting a bunch of little interactions in there because, like, if you just think about it, it would just be so easy to get lost in this app and not want to get out of it.
that's the goal, dogs for everyone. Okay, so
Someone asked what size window you start with. I assume they mean artboard.
yeah, as far as the artboard goes, I'm using an iPhone 8 size, so it's 375 by 667, I believe. But I actually added an extra pixel,
Oh, okay.
so it's 376 pixels wide because I'm using an 8-pixel grid and I want it to be divisible by 8 instead of having that random, decimal 0.75, whatever, just so everything's even. So I added the extra pixel there.
Nice. Is there any reason you go with the 8 over anything else? Just because it's bigger?
Yeah, just because it's wider. I think we were mentioning yesterday how like the what is it? The 10 is like narrower.
Yeah, it's super narrow.
I just like having this much room. So it's just a
Yeah,
personal
totally
preference.
makes sense. I usually do the 8 plus myself.
Yeah, I might need to
I
start.
just love the room.
Oh yeah, need to start expanding my horizons probably and start using some other dimensions there.
Yeah.
So then I want to also have a way to sort of close out of these matches here. So I'm going to grab this X icon, just put it up in the top corner here.
Someone asked if you use XD professionally or another tool.
I don't use it professionally, but it definitely does have a place where I could see myself using it.
And again, you've only been using it for 3 weeks.
Yeah, I've only been using it for about 3 weeks, so.
Not really the time to convince your employer to
Yeah,
switch.
don't want to stop mid-project and say, hey guys, let's switch to something completely different.
Like, wait, what? But I actually do use XD professionally. I am a freelance designer, so I use XD for everything. And I have for quite some time, pretty much since one of the beta versions, actually, I've been using this. So
Early adopter, good for you. Just gonna give this stuff a little bit more breathing room, so bear with me. This is what I mean when I say I'm very detail oriented, like I have to have stuff lined up properly. Just a little bit more here. Okay. So now we have a breathe suggestion, and this page is done.
how many do we have done now? 3, 4?
I think we have 4.
Nice.
4 already.
Moving along well.
Mm-hmm.
And that reminds me, we have 37 minutes until the challenge submission deadline. So if you want us to check out your design here on stream, hit the challenge tab above chat and get entered before it's too late. Eric said he uses XD for everything too, and Zach is my brother from Utah. Yeah, I actually went to lunch with Eric one time after our last live stream that I did with Adobe.
Fun.
So that was cool.
Awesome. Okay, so what's next? Next up we'll have our like home screen, and then this page is the first page that I can sort of demonstrate what that bottom navigation bar will look like. So I'll go ahead and work on that, and then do some more symbols as far as that goes for creating the different navigation screens for all the different pages we're going to be having. Okay, so the home page.
Cameron, to answer your question, which is a very good question, he says, do you find that most clients want to have a back end that they can make small changes with? Well, that's where it kind of gets started with, is you're the designer, so you should be making design decisions most of the time. Like, of course, you go with their feedback and everything, but in the end, you are the designer, so you should be the one with the access to the back end for the design. But once you go into development and stuff, then most people do have access to their back end. So I would say that's more of a back end development issue for your question than really for a designer to deal with.
Yeah, I never really handle that stuff like that.
Yeah, and especially when you're in a company and you're not really dealing with the client face-to-face as often.
Exactly.
You don't have to deal with those things.
Okay, so
Michael actually got promoted from Adobe Live, so he doesn't run Adobe Live anymore, and he's actually working on some Creative Cloud work now here at Adobe.
Oh, fun. Yeah, I was wondering. I've seen Michael on the stream before. I was wondering where he was.
Yeah, former head of Adobe Live.
Getting the promotion. Okay. Yeah, so we're going to start with a search bar up here.
Someone asked, do you pick the font sizes randomly? Absolutely not. Or is there a rule for that as well? There's definitely a rule for that. What would you say?
For me, I know there are rules. I've researched type scales and stuff like that, but I'm not too familiar with that. I haven't found like a definitive system that works for me. I generally start with like one font size, like a body copy font size, and then I build off of there. But again, like I like to sort of have the font sizes and weights in mind as I'm starting, so that I don't end up with too many too many sizes. I did that for a project once at work, and I heard about it from our front end developers. So
Nice.
not going to make that mistake again. So I'm going to grab this sort of, you guys, I don't know if you can see it, but it's kind of like a container that has rounded corners at the top and then a flat bottom, and the shadow kind of points upward. I'm going to grab this one, and I'll show you guys why in a second. I have some ideas about it for when I'm doing the prototyping as far as how it will interact when you scroll. So I'm going to use this one. And so your home page will be the area where you can see recent searches, recently viewed dogs, and then dogs that are recommended in your area. So that's what we're going to be adding in here.
Someone asked, do you recommend any courses to becoming a UI designer
Courses
that you know of?
Let's see. As far as using programs or as far as actually like design theory, because that's two different disciplines.
That's a good question. I'm guessing that they're just looking for like a general beginner's course.
Beginner's course? I don't know if I really know any courses off the top of my head. I would say just kind of what we were saying before. It's all about sort of like trial and error, getting in there and not being afraid to try the programs out, and then maybe reaching out to designers that you look up to in the field and getting feedback about your work. I think that's probably my biggest piece of advice. And if you're a college student or in school, definitely taking advantage of internships in the field that you're interested in. Excuse me. Let's see. So up here, I'm going to have
another question about the functionality feature for responsiveness in XD. Yeah, there is responsive resizing now, actually. So all you have to do is just hit that over in the right sidebar there, and you can resize things automatically.
Mm-hmm. Oh, actually, this is recent.
Cameron then followed up his question about the course, saying, do you think a bachelor degree is necessary to get a position in the UX UI design field?
I personally don't think it is, especially with just the way that our field is in general. Like, there's so many like remote opportunities, and this field is definitely very open to different backgrounds and different places that you come from. So I think if you just have good design skills and you learn, the important things about design, like hierarchy and color theory and things like that, really hone your skills as a designer, and work on your portfolio, and then put yourself out there. I don't think you have to have a degree, though.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I don't have a degree in any type of design things, but I've been doing design for 11 years now, and doing it professionally full time. So.
Yep, there you go. And my degree is in graphic design, which is related to the field, but I definitely didn't go to college for specifically for like web design or product design. Like, it's something that I learned along the way, and I kind of fell into it a little bit. So.
I think design is one of the number one industries where there's like self-taught people as well, so definitely not a requirement.
So I'm just working on...
Eric pointed out, I don't even show people my degree anymore.
Yeah, no one asks to see your degree when you go to a job interview.
It's true.
It's kind of sad, actually. It's like,
wait, what?
I did all this work and you don't want to see my degree? Like, why? Sands, gonna add this to my character styles. And then let's see. This should be 14 or 16. And this is just gonna be like the search criteria that you might have searched with.
Yeah.
So the size, the age, and then like the distance.
Looking at that font up close, I'm really starting to like it a lot.
Yeah, it's fun, right? Like I said, I think it's, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure you can get it for free on Typekit. Or not for free, but it's included.
With your Creative Cloud, right?
Yeah, with your Creative Cloud.
Someone asked, where do you get your creative inspirations when designing?
My inspiration? I'm just really inspired by other designers. I think there's so many designers on the internet and locally in my personal network that are doing great work. And it can be really hard sometimes because you don't want to copy them, but sometimes you are really inspired. So I find sometimes that pieces of other designers will really creep into what I'm doing, and I have to be conscious of that, but there's just so much great work out there. Someone said she's really focused. I am. I have a lot of stuff to get through.
You gotta be. Someone asked if XD will ever be compatible with Printable. I was just looking on the Adobe XD user voice, and it is on there as a requested feature. So definitely go look that up, and you can vote that up.
we have a Labrador Retriever. I'm gonna go ahead and group this. And then, actually let's do the repeat grid. Repeat grid. Just want to give that feeling of it being like another card that you can swipe. So kind of giving that indication there. It's cutting it off. Okay, so
the shadow's looking so good.
Recent searches, and then below that we'll have recently viewed. And so this is kind of what that card looks like. It'll be an image, the dog's name, breed, a couple of tags, the percentage that they are matched to you based on that personality quiz that you took. And then this little circle here kind of represents an avatar for the shelter or the person that is letting you adopt the dog.
Nice.
Yep, so I'm gonna go ahead and start building that out. Copy. Duplicate that. And then
Someone pointed out Bark Ruffalo.
Yep, Bark Ruffalo. Gotta make design fun. That's part of that's one of my favorite things about design. Is like I just
Yeah.
as far as the process goes, like making
Have
up
fun with it. Why not?
dumb stuff to put in there. Okay.
Tim was like, wait till you see the other name.
Yeah, we have a lot of names from the chat yesterday that were really funny. Okay, so let's copy some of this stuff from over here. This is my friend's dog's name, so we're gonna put him in there. King Stuart the First. I'm sure she'll be excited to see that. Actually, let's use a miniature. I hope I'm spelling this correctly.
That's a fun one to spell.
Schnauzer. It's a fun one to spell and to say also.
We still have just about 25 minutes for you to enter your challenge submissions. So just hit that challenge tab above the chat so you can enter 20 minutes. I think is still enough time to do it if you wanted to do it really quick, so we can review it on stream.
Mini Schnauzer. Grab some of these tags, family friendly.
Someone asked if you can actually create an animated pie chart or an animated graph using XD only and not Illustrator. I think you can.
It might take some like hacking kind of.
Yeah,
maybe,
you can kind of
but
hack it and make it work if you really wanted to.
I think you could do it.
But honestly, it might be easier just make it in Illustrator and drag it in since it's supported.
Yep.
And he actually did a typo saying using XP only, and it really brought me back to Windows XP. I was like, wait, what?
I haven't used a Windows computer since college.
I haven't used it since forever. It was a long time ago, like since XP, really.
XP. Let's give this a fill so I know an image goes there. White border on the outside. Okay, let's get some cute dog pictures in here because I need some more. Stuart, here he is.
That's a great picture.
He's wearing his bow tie.
That's awesome.
Stuart just turned 3 the other day, so
That's great.
happy birthday to him. Let's see, so I have the name of the dog, some attributes. Oh, and I wanted to include this idea of like the dog being a perfect match for you. So I'm just gonna say 97% match and align this over here.
Okay, we have puns starting up, this time with experience.
You guys are very punny. I love it.
Tim said that's basically me on a Monday morning.
And then one other thing that I want is I want to have my avatar in here, so I'm gonna pull that in. That's the avatar. Someone was asking about it earlier. If you guys don't know, this is what they were referring to as far as
Oh yeah,
what was on
yeah.
my Behance. It's my little character that I drew of myself.
So good.
Thank you. Okay, so King Stuart Mini Schnauzer. That's a dog. Let's group all of this. And then we'll drag another one off to the side to look like there's something to swipe. And then I'm just going to basically copy the same section again. And this will be recommended dogs. Recommended in your area. Mr. Teddy. This is Shauna Panchezin's dog, who's might be in the chat, so I don't know if she's still with us, but I think he's a Shih Tzu?
Well, now her dog is famous.
Yeah, he has an Instagram too, so.
Oh, perfect. Some free exposure.
Mm-hmm. Let's put Teddy in there. It's very zoomed in, but you guys get the idea.
Robert said you're going to take his job as an illustrator.
No, I can't compete with you. No way. Oh, there goes Shauna. She says hi.
Good, she said.
Mr. Teddy. Shauna, what breed is it? Yep, let me put that in there. So, Shih Tzu.
That is quite the name for a dog breed.
So, there we go. So, two of my favorite dogs. I think that's it for this page. Oh, I remember what I was going to do. I also want to do the bottom navigation, so let me give myself some more room, because that's going to be important to the app. So now I'm going to be building this nav bar down here that's going to be sort of fixed to the bottom. Chewbarca. That was in there yesterday too. In the chat yesterday. So we're gonna do a rectangle, and then I mentioned yesterday this spotlight search has a calculator in it. So this is my way of knowing how wide the different sections in that nav bar need to be. So it's 94 pixels for each one. 94. And then let's drag in home. So we have home, and then I'm going to grab the icons that I know I'll need. I'm going to need this one, breed guide.
Those icons actually look really good with the typeface as well.
Yeah, they kind of the typeface kind of informed the style of the icons that I created with the rounded corners and stuff.
That's a super good tip as well, is to make sure your icons are really flowing well with the kind of the shape of the type.
Yeah, there's so many things to consider when you're designing, and all these pieces kind of work together to make things look good. For home, I'm gonna add. Stop it. This home icon here. Drop the size of this down to maybe 40 pixels. Nope. Let's make it 50. Also give this an active state color.
Someone said they just came in, and can you explain what the challenge is for today? So today's XD Daily Challenge is just a mobile notification experience. So you get to start with a template. If you hit the challenge tab, you can do a quick download of that and kind of design your own notification experience. And you have about 18 minutes if you want us to review it on this stream. But if you don't get it done in time, there's another stream right after us where you can submit then as well.
Home read guide. So the one with the teal text. Oh, sorry.
No, you're
Didn't
good.
realize I was thought I was up there. Sorry. The one with the teal text is going to be like an active state, and then the more grayish green text will be the inactive state for this.
Nice.
And then
Oh, and another great point is since you made those icons in Illustrator, you can change the color on the fly in XD.
Yep.
It's very nice.
definitely. It's great that all these programs really sort of like work together
Yeah,
really well.
it's a great thing of the Creative Cloud family.
All these programs are designed to work really well together. Little heart for saved. And then let's make this that gray color. And one more for, let's see, this is going to be profile. I didn't actually design the profile, so we didn't have time to, but
Oh, okay.
just going to put it in there still. Center all of this. This needs to be.
Someone asked if guides are coming to the next XD update. I'm not 100% sure what you mean by guides. If you could clarify, I could probably answer your question better.
He might mean being able to drag from like the ruler, like how you can do in other
Oh,
programs.
okay, I see what you mean. Good question. I can look that up actually.
Okay, so now that I have all the spacing and everything correct, I'm just gonna delete these other bounding boxes that kind of were my guides, and I'll drag this one over to the side. I'll make it white.
Tim said the team is working on that feature.
Awesome. And then I'm just gonna add like a line to the top here to give it some separation. Oops. Okay, so now we have our navigation at the bottom, and then I'm gonna group this. And then I'm just gonna add it over here to my symbols panel. Call it nav home. We're gonna have a couple of different symbols for this same thing. So we have nav home for this page, and then I'm just gonna copy some down here and just go ahead and create those so I have them when I need them. So this one will be for the breed guide. Then this one will be.
You got a question about if you were copying the color code. You were actually using. You weren't copying the color code, right?
No,
Or you're just dragging it.
No, yeah, I just drag.
Yep.
I have my colors saved on the side here, so if I want to type in the color code, I can. But generally, I don't really need to do that sometimes, most of the time. And then, let's see. So now we have all of our other nav bars that we'll need, and we can just easily add these to our symbols panel, and that way we have them. We don't have to go through and make changes, you know, as you're flying through the design. So we have read guide. We have our nav saved. And then we have our nav profile. And one thing, I just want to demonstrate it really quick. Some of the features that are really cool in XD is as far as having fixed elements when you're scrolling, or like fixed positions. So you can actually, if you define the size of the artboard and you cut it off there. Oh, I don't know if I did that correct. When you're previewing, you can see that this little nav bar now stays fixed to the bottom.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so the way I did that was I aligned it down to the bottom where this artboard would end, down here. And then the rest of the artboard can extend past that. So let me drag it down a little bit more. Save that. And then since this icon or this element here is fixed using this check mark over here, when you're previewing,
it doesn't move at all.
It doesn't move, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So that's really fun. That's kind of a little peek into some prototyping sort of stuff, but
yeah.
It's definitely a cool thing to take advantage of. Okay, so the home page is done now.
Sweet.
And then we can move into, let's see what was next. Did that one. Let's do the search. So if you search, if you tap this search bar here, it'll pop up this little page. So that's what I'm designing next. Design search. We don't need this bar here. We don't need any of this stuff. Get rid of this, get rid of that.
Hello, Lindsay,
this.
welcome. If you just joined in, we're working on a pet adoption app. It's coming along very well.
Yep, trying to get it done. Okay, so just setting up my artboard I know I'll need. So I'm gonna have the top just this text that says search so people have a sense of what page they're on within the app. And then below that I'll have my options. So the first one that we have is breed. That's kind of what we're leading with. Breed, I'm gonna make this bold, and then over on the other side I'll have the actual option that you can select. So make this say any breed.
There's just 10 minutes left for the challenge submission. So if you want to have us review your challenge live on the stream in just a few minutes, all you have to do is hit the challenge tab. There'll be a link to submit and download the template if you want to quickly make something. Because since you are starting with the template, it's not that hard to get it done. So definitely check out the challenge tab before the next 10 minutes.
Remind me again what the challenge is today?
Today is design a mobile notification experience.
Okay, cool. That's
So,
gonna be fun.
Yeah.
It's just like little arrows here to indicate that you would be taken to another page. Kind of give the users a sense of where they're gonna be taken to if they tap this.
Always a nice touch.
And then I'm going to add just a horizontal rule down here.
So that's how often we do the video streams. Basically, there's streams every week. They're not always the UI UX though. So they pretty much, we go through all the Creative Cloud apps throughout every other week.
Mm-hmm.
But live Tuesday through Thursday every week.
Yeah, so if you're interested in other types of design
Oh yeah, for sure.
stuff,
There's
it's
plenty of
not
other
just
shows to
UI.
watch.
Yep, there's, I think, Photoshop. I've seen After
Illustrator.
Effects before. I don't know if you guys
I've
do
seen
that one.
InDesign.
InDesign, yeah, there's something for
Premiere.
everyone. Okay, so we have our first option here, and I'm just going to use my favorite thing, the repeat grid. And I'm just going to drag down all of these. And then I'll fill in what it needs to be. So size, temperament, age, sex, and distance.
So I'll give a shout out to Repeat Grid.
Yep, it's really great.
I think it's one of the most loved features in XD.
I love it. Let's see. You guys noticed that when I just changed the alignment there, I don't know if you saw that, but it kind of jumped over because all of these elements are kind of connected.
Right.
So now I can just move this in one place and it shifts all the other ones over.
Oh, that saves so much time.
Saves a ton of time. Temperament. Any age. Then I'm going to also drag in one of my button symbols that I created. So I like that action button. And I will place that here and then give the user kind of a sense that there are a certain number of results. So I'm going to just say it's view 12, 4, 5,
Right,
whatever,
right.
Matches.
Oh, someone asked, what was that one pixel you added again for your artboard?
So a standard iPhone 8 artboard would be 375 pixels, and I added just one extra pixel to the end. So it's 376, so it's divisible by 8 since I'm using an 8-pixel grid.
Awesome.
I learned that tip from Megan Fisher, who
Oh, yeah.
was on, I think it was
I
last
actually
year.
went live with her at the same time.
Oh, really?
We were there the same week.
Yeah, so that was one of the tips she did in her stream.
Awesome.
Kind of borrowed that from her. Actually, it makes sense to have the search icon, duh. I'm just gonna add some visual interest here a little bit with a little search icon.
Someone asked if you sketch out your ideas or just go straight to the computer.
I do sketch them out, and I can also, we showed my notebook yesterday on the stream.
Yeah.
Everyone really liked that. So if at some point you guys want to see that again, let me know, and we can grab the GoPro and show that.
Yeah, for sure.
Kind of what that looks like whenever you guys are ready. So we have search, and then I also want another way to, if you decide you want to cancel, just to kind of bail out of this, so add that over here.
Yeah, it's the most annoying thing ever when you're in a process in an app and you can't even close out of it. You have to finish what you were doing.
Yeah. Just add a line up here just to add some separation. C.
Looks like we got quite a few people asking to check out the notebook. So do you want to
Let's
show it
do
off?
it, yeah.
Can
I'm done with
bring the
this page
GoPro
anyways.
over here for you. Yeah. Make sure it's good to go.
Oh, is it dead? Oh no.
Oh, true. Tim pointed out we can actually, you guys can check out the replay from yesterday as well, if you want to check that out.
John Henry said that I'm Marie Kondo organized. I love her. She's so cute. If you guys haven't watched that show on Netflix, I highly recommend it.
That's a great point, actually.
My notebook really sparks joy.
Tim's like, or we can look at it right now, or we won't. Who knows? Guess we'll find out. Tim asked if you have an online portfolio that they can check out.
I do. You can find me on Behance. So I think the link is actually in the sidebar. In the info.
Right.
Yes.
Right above the chat.
I recently updated that. I deleted all my projects from college, so you know I'm an adult now. Yeah. And I think
Moving
thanks
on.
Tim put my website
Tim
in there
posted
too.
up the links in chat.
That also needs to be updated, my personal website, but you can see some of the stuff I've done over the last couple of years.
I don't think I've ever met a designer whose personal website was updated. So
That's true. It's hard to design for yourself. Like when I got married 2 years ago, I had to have one of my designer friends do my invitations because I did not trust myself to actually design it myself. So I think we're working on trying to get the camera working, but in the meantime, I'm going to continue here. Okay, so assuming that you've gone through the search, you're also gonna obviously want to see your results, so that's what I'll work on next.
yeah.
This results page. This one's gonna be pretty simple because it's basically gonna be reusing these elements. And I'm actually gonna save this dog card that I created to my symbols.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Yeah. So I can reuse it if I need to.
So how many screens have we finished now?
Let's see, we're up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Nice, nice.
Yep. Really getting through it.
Eric said he made his own wedding invitation back in the day.
Oh yeah?
That'd be fun.
Yeah. It was, I mean, my friend started it, and then once we got a solid sort of direction, we collaborated, and then I actually had the pleasure of screen printing them with like metallic gold ink, and I trimmed them, and I made custom labels and everything.
awesome.
So it was a long process, but it was worth it, I'd say.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Mm-hmm. Copy this one over. So we're gonna start with just giving some informational text up here about the number of results that you're looking at.
Yeah.
So just because it makes sense to me to have that there. Do white. And then we'll also need a way to navigate backwards, so I'm just gonna put a little arrow there.
Yeah, we can take it to GoPro.
Okay, cool. Okay, let's check out this notebook
GoPro
now.
time.
Here we go.
Okay,
Sweet.
so I kind of showed this in the intro presentation, but this is sort of what I was doing as far as like planning the app. I had just some user goals in mind, requirements, little written out user journey here. And then over here on this side, next page, if I can actually turn the page, there is cute little illustrated user journey. So I find that really getting on pen and paper and not diving straight into design gives you a chance to really think about the solutions that you want to present and not just get tied to like the first thing that you design, because that can definitely happen as designers. We fall in love with what we do, and then it can be hard to sort of receive feedback or anything from anyone else. And then this is some quick sketches for wireframes. So when I'm doing stuff like this, I like to keep it pretty small and pretty simple because, like I said, I don't want to get too down into the details early on. But I definitely, when I'm working on projects, there are times when I'll just get like a burst of inspiration. I need to get the ideas out as quick as possible. So quick sketches like this, and then also sort of referencing different things in red that I'm also thinking as far as like interactions or or just, content that needs to be on that page. So that's that. And then someone also asked yesterday about the red or the yellow Post-it notes. So these are things that I don't necessarily want to commit to my journal, but it's things that I'm thinking about, like to-do lists and mostly lists, because my life is pretty much just run by lists at this point since I use a bullet journal. But these are just things that I didn't want to necessarily write down that I'm probably just going to toss out later.
Yeah,
So
makes sense.
That's my journal. And I actually have another one I can
Yeah, I
also
saw
show
that.
really quick. So I started using this like little smaller field notes one. I got it from Creative Works when I went last
Very
year.
nice. Haven't seen a black one in person. Looks
Yeah,
good.
black is my favorite color, so like this is awesome. So yeah, this is just kind of when I was planning the individual pages, I wanted to get a little bit more in detail, but still not just do it directly in the app. So this is kind of showing the different sections and then
Nice.
breaking down what would be contained within each. So this is actually the page that I'm about to start working on in a couple minutes here.
Oh, awesome.
And I think I have maybe one more I can show. Okay, here's another good one. So this is what the dog card looked like. So I was thinking there. A couple more things. Yep, so
Awesome.
that's my notebook.
Very cool.
Thank you. Okay, so back to this. We're working on showing the listing of results that you get when you search. So
Shout out to Creative Works.
yeah, Creative Works. I think Robert was workshop leader there last year when I
Oh,
was
nice. Awesome.
there. Yeah, I think so. We didn't get a chance to meet, but I definitely heard the name
Yeah.
in the halls. I knew he was there.
Awesome.
Okay, actually, no, that's not what I need. This needs to
Someone
be...
said, just notice how you guys are all in dark colors. Yeah, I pretty much only wear black clothes most
Yeah,
of
I'm
the time.
not wearing black today, but that is my default normally. I wanted to
Yeah.
look not depressed
Plus,
on
we
this stream, so...
both being all black.
Yeah. I have my favorite leather jacket that I brought with me, but
Oh,
I thought it
nice.
was a little bit too much for the stream, so I didn't wear it, but I really wanted to. So it's just like a link to filter, pull up the search things
Right.
again, so.
Nice.
And then as far as the results go, just gonna drag over King Stewart.
Love King Stewart.
I love him too. He's so funny because whenever I go to Olivia's house, he instantly just grabs his little tennis ball because he likes to fetch.
Yeah.
He just barks and then he grabs it and runs. Eric is mentioning AIGA. I actually used to be involved in my local chapter of AIGA in Orlando. I'm not involved as much anymore just because I got a little busy, but it's definitely a great organization to be a part of. You can find local designers in your area and they usually have events and resources available to you, so definitely check out your local chapter of AIGA.
Eric, since me and you are both in Utah, I actually went to an event with them a couple months ago that one of my friends actually hosted with them, and it was really good. With Tad Carpenter. I don't know if you've heard of him,
I
Illustrator.
love Tad Carpenter. He's so much fun. He actually came to an event that we had in Orlando a couple years ago,
nice.
one of our mentorship showcases. He was our keynote speaker.
Nice.
Yeah, he's super fun, super talented. Him and his wife were both there.
Yep, she was there too. Yeah, they do a bunch of cool events down in Salt Lake too, so
Yeah.
definitely check them out.
I just realized that I forgot to add these heart icons so you can save breeds and dogs. So I'm going to go ahead and add those here. I'm just going to drop the opacity down to like 50%. So I'll have that on the breed, and then also here. Oops.
Hey Vanessa, welcome. I know a couple of people just jumped in, so we are working on a pet adoption app, and it is looking great.
Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us, guys. Just gonna do that, and then here. If you like cute dog pictures, you're in the right place because there's a ton of them that we're going to be looking at today. So,
And the deadline is now hit for the challenge submission, so I'm going to get those prepared while you're working on that.
sounds good.
Looks like we got about 4 to check out today.
Nice. so let's group this together again. King Stewart, and then I'm gonna do another dog named Georgie. My aunt Janice, I don't know if she's watching today, she was watching yesterday, but she's currently
nice.
fostering a dog named Georgie who is also super cute. So I'm gonna use him in here. I don't know what breed he is. I think he might be like a Schnauzer mix too, but here's Georgie. Then let's do another one. Georgie, and then I'm just gonna grab another image from Adobe stock that I have. So this little lab makes me happy, so.
Can't go wrong with the lab.
Well, is that a lab or is that a golden retriever? That might be a golden retriever.
Yeah, maybe.
They're kind of the same, almost. And we're gonna name him Mark Ruffalo because why not? Mark Ruffalo. Actually, no, I want to name him. Do you guys watch Parks and Rec? This is my favorite. Champion.
Oh, nice.
That'll be his name today. Okay, so this is design search results. Whenever you want to show those designs, I'm ready.
Yeah, we can keep going through this for a few minutes.
Cool. And then let's bring in our navigation. Let's put that down here. Okay, so we have a couple of search results for dogs. King Stewart, Georgie, and Champion. Then next up we'll do like the dog details. So this is where you're gonna actually be able to read about the guys, or about the dogs. I'm sorry, I'm reading, it says guys up there. Someone said hi, guys. John Henry says it's cute. Yeah, they're all cute, right? So copy this artboard. Drag it over here.
Which number of screen are we on now?
I think we're on maybe number 8.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
1, 2, 3,
Very
4,
nice.
5, 6. No, 7. Starting
So how
number
many
8
are,
right now.
we did 12 total, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool, cool.
Yeah, so we're getting through them. For this one, I'm just gonna delete everything on this artboard because this layout is a little bit different. I'll probably just keep the background thing there. Oops. Okay, so for the dog detail, I want to start with like a really big image to really sell it, drive it home. So let me do that. We'll add a rectangle placeholder spot. Make it 250. Actually, let's make it 275, 76. Gray. Always remember to rename your artboards as you work so you can stay organized. So dog detail.
Do you want to share why you put the D at the beginning, just for the people that weren't here for that part?
So you guys can see I kind of like to work all in one file. So these are the wires that we created yesterday, and then down here I'm working on design. So I put a D hyphen whatever the artboard name is, so that I know it's like a design page. So that way when I'm exporting, those files don't get sort of mixed up.
Nice.
Keeps them organized in my files.
That's a great little trick.
Mm-hmm. and paste. Let's go. I think I lost my status bar. Let's do that. Here we go. Back arrow, gonna copy this heart icon.
And if anybody wants to get those status bars, you can actually just go into XD and go to Get UI Kits.
I can actually
And then
open
there's
it.
Apple iOS, so super easy.
I actually have the kit right
Oh,
here.
nice.
I think it's, which one is it? Is it this one? Maybe? Might have opened the wrong one. Oops. Nope, that's it.
I don't, yeah. Yeah, so you get all of the standard iOS guideline design elements.
Status bars up here, a bunch of different stuff that you can use.
Great thing to have, for sure.
Okay, so I'm gonna put in King Stewart again.
To answer the question about when the streams go live, the first stream is at 9 a.m., then our stream starts at 11 a.m., and then the final stream is at 1 p.m.
Gonna add a couple of circles down here to represent like the being able to swipe to see more images, so just to give an indication.
Yeah.
Why not?
And Tim made a good point that Apple recommends 11 points as the smallest font size to ever use.
It's good to know.
Then he gave a link with the developer from Apple guidelines. So great thing to check out.
And you guys will notice that I generally I zoom in and out a lot just because I need to see my design fully and then more in detail. So
I think it's cool for everyone to see too.
this is definitely exactly what my process looks like, even when I'm at home or when I'm at work.
Yeah.
This is what I do.
Yes, John, it's Pacific time. And we got Chris in the chat. He's been on here a couple times now.
Hi, Chris. Actually gonna use the bigger font size for this one. So I think I have a 28. Yep, there we go. Just so it stands out a little bit more. And then I'm gonna say Schnauzer, like that, teal. Okay, so for this page, I have the name. I'm gonna include this little match idea, but I'm gonna put it in a circle like how I did for this over here.
Nice.
So if I was able to figure out how to do that sort of cut out circle thing, I would have done it here, but you guys will kind of get the idea of what I'm getting at here. I'm gonna drop this down to maybe 8, and then just type 97. Just like a little visual indicator of how much this dog might match you based on that personality quiz.
Yeah.
This might be a little big.
To join the XD community Slack, I believe there's actually a link for it in the challenge tab above the chat. So you can check that out for sure.
I need to join that. I have to do that tonight, if I remember.
Yeah. It's super active, especially during these XD daily design challenges. Tons of people in there.
It's good to have a community that you can rely
absolutely.
on for help and stuff.
I think most people use it to get design feedback, so it's really valuable for that.
It's always good to have. Okay, so I'm adding divider here, and then I'm gonna move into sort of like a bio. So meet King Stewart the first.
Best name ever.
Very formal. Commands respect.
And then the bow tie, it's just,
Yeah.
it's too good. It's too good.
So drag a text box here and then paste that in. Then, don't do that. Let's try that again. Paste. Okay, so we have a little bio, and then I thought it would also be cute to include like a little things you may love, and that's where I kind of add this list of like house trained, neutered, great with kids. So you can get a little bit more visual with this. So
features for your dog.
Mm-hmm. I'll leave some space. I'm gonna use a little heart icon in there. About King Stewart first. Grab one of these little hearts. Add a fill and make it red and bring up the opacity. Get rid of the border.
Perfect touch.
Mm-hmm. Thought that was cute, right?
Did you make that heart one?
No, this is one of the ones that was from the Streamline icon
nice.
set. Mm-hmm. Okay, and then pull this down and we'll add that list. So house trained. Do that, and then I also want to have like a little cute little like check mark icon next to it. Yep. So just envision that there's a check mark there because I didn't actually draw one. I need to, actually I can use the pen tool, right?
Yeah, you can totally make
do
quick
that.
little icons right next to you.
Here we go.
Boom.
And we're done. Let's make that white.
Looks great.
Thank you.
That was so easy.
Mm-hmm. Yep, so you can either use Illustrator or just draw directly in. I don't know how good it is for drawing like really complex illustrations,
Right.
but quick stuff like this.
I've seen a few pretty good icons.
Oh yeah? I'm actually gonna rotate it a little bit. Maybe not. No, that's good. Okay.
Now that you got that down, I think it'd be a good time to switch over to the submissions.
Works for me.
We have 4 to check out and review for you guys today. So starting with this one. So again, this is a notification experience on mobile. So it looks like we got a message from somebody, so we got to open it. Pretty cool. So this is the open state. Open state for this one.
Nice.
Close, open, and then that's pretty much it for that one.
Cool.
So as you can see, he's using the auto animate feature and really getting things looking cool here. So yeah, do you have any feedback, do you think you can give him?
I think it's a great start, and I like the way that you use that blur overlay sort of thing, but
Yeah,
I
that looks
think
good.
to really take it to the next level, you should definitely check out the auto animate as far as like actually maybe showing that little notification dropping down and opening instead of fading. That'd be really cool to actually have a
For
real
sure.
animation of it kind of dropping open.
Yeah, that's great advice. Moving on, we got one on Behance. Give you a like. Pretty nice presentation with the mock-ups.
Yeah,
Looks
that's awesome.
good. And we got a video so we can actually check out how it works. There's the open state. Oh, nice
nice.
reply. Nice thing to add. No. Tony Stark on Instagram. Nice touch. Nice. I like how it swiped away. It looked good.
Yeah, you really made good use of that that auto animate feature as far as like the bounce of the keyboard, and those are all really great transitions.
Swipe is perfect too. Nice.
Looks like a real app.
Very good
job.
work. Hard to critique that one. Give you a follow on here. Okay, so moving on to the next one. Looks like we got Facebook message. Cool. Swipe to unlock. I just have to. Oh, loading animation. Nice. Looks like we
Is that a order maybe?
switched. Oh, okay. I see what's going on. We clicked on this, and we're moving into that app now.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know.
Looks like
The
is
swipe
it
thing's
out
not
of
really
order
working
maybe?
on the browser. Yeah. Anyway, let's go back to home screen. So we press there, apply, swipe to unlock. Oops. Oh, okay. So then it just moves to another screen. So he didn't actually do the app experience because that wasn't part of the challenge.
I see.
Totally makes sense. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
So cool. Very
Yeah.
good as well.
Looks good.
Animation was nice.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got another one on Behance, which is another video.
Is
Check
that the one
that
we just saw?
out.
Or is it different?
Oh, is that the same one?
That's
Oh,
the
looks
first
like he
one, right?
submitted
Yeah.
a video. Cool.
Mhm.
Well, we can check out exactly how he did it then.
Oh, cool. That's a little. Oh,
Okay,
yeah,
now that's much more smooth.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was envisioning. Good job.
Perfect.
Those are
Very
cool.
nice. Very nice. Okay, well, we can switch back to your screen and kind of wrap up
Yeah.
for today.
Let's see if we can get a little bit more done on this page, and then I can go over kind of what I'm going to be doing tomorrow, and then we will say goodbye for today, right?
Yep, we have just a couple minutes.
Okay. Okay, so I'm going to use the repeat grid again to add some more of these here. Draw this out. So house trained, neutered. Great with kids and loves to cuddle.
Someone asked if you actually interviewed any people for this. So you did do some kind of research like that, right?
Yeah, I did a little bit of user research. I have to say thank you again to Adobe for inviting me because it really it lit a fire under me to
That's awesome.
to kind of get started in looking
Yeah.
more into like UX theory and like the stuff that goes into it.
Nice,
And so I
nice.
actually put together a Google form survey asking users about what they consider when adopting a dog, how likely they are to adopt a dog, if having breed information about a dog when they're searching would be useful. So I got some good responses from that, and that kind of informed some of the hierarchy and some of the things that I actually decided to put into the app. So
Awesome.
you don't need a lot to do user research, I'd
Yeah,
say.
no.
Just read a couple
out.
of articles. Like there's definitely courses you can take, but as far as doing really simple stuff, like
Super easy.
it's super easy to get started, yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, so we have that, and then I want to add the location information also. So add a line to divide this section. And then let's copy this. And I need my little icon over here. I think next time I'll actually add these to my symbols and be able to access them
yeah,
a little easier.
yeah.
I don't know why I didn't do that before, but.
Okay, we got about a minute, so if you want to just zoom out for a minute and
Yeah.
kind of show what you did today and talk about what you want to do tomorrow.
For sure.
That'd be
So
great.
today we kind of went over some general styles to start that I came up with, and then we started designing out the app. So we have our first screen that you see when it launches, and then another screen to sort of decide whether or not you want to take the quiz to be matched with breeds or to search. Here's an example of the question that you would be asked, and then the breed that you would be presented with as a result of going through the quiz. After that, after you close out of this section, you would be presented with the home page that features recent searches, recently viewed dogs, and other dogs that are recommended in your area. We also made a fun little navigation bar down here at the bottom.
Very nice.
After that, we did search and search results, and then I started working on the breed detail, or the dog detail page.
Yep, so tomorrow we'll finish up the design and then move into some prototyping.
Yep,
So
looking forward to it.
that'll be fun. So stick around because right after us, Jermaine's coming on in just a couple of minutes. But we'll see you guys tomorrow at 11 a.m. PT. See ya.
Bye.
Awesome.